Hey friends, what's going on? This is David Potts with Song Notes, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to pick up your guitar and play this intro riff to My Hey Hey, Neil Young song. It's a great song, obviously. It's really fun to play. You only need 3 chords for this riff section. They're pretty easy chords to learn, and this riff is something that you actually can do an easy version of, which I will show you. And that's a great way to sort of pick it up, get going with it, especially if you're earlier on in your guitar journey. You can have fun with it. And also, if you want to try to capture the nuance of Neil Young's playing, I'll show you as close to that version as I can muster. He's obviously a master. I can only come so close, and it's not that close. But hey, it's a fun song. Makes me love music and rock and roll, obviously. So let's get to that lesson. So as always, just remember, check out my website, playsongnotes.com. And the reason why is all the notes and tabs for this lesson, for all my other lessons, they're there waiting for you. It's a great resource to help you learn these songs outside of these videos. All right, so the first thing I'm going to show you in this lesson is talk about the chords you'll need and just kind of talk about the strumming, right? I'm not going to get to the riff notes yet because I want to talk about just the foundational rhythm that's underlying everything, because you learn that and it makes adding the riff on top a lot easier. Okay, so first up, we're going to need these 3 chords. We're going to need an A minor, we're going to need a G chord, and we'll need an F major 7, okay? Now, what do I say about these chords? The A minor is a pretty typical chord, open, it's open 5th string, 2nd fret, 1st fret, open high E string, okay? That's your home base. You'll start there, you'll end there, okay? Now for this G chord, what I recommend doing, if you can, is playing it by putting your ring finger down here on the 6th string and your middle finger on the 5th string, and then your pinky on the high E string, 3rd fret, okay? So it's 3rd, 2nd, open, 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 3rd. And the reason I recommend playing this way is it leaves your index finger free up here for when you switch to the F major 7. Okay, so check out when I play the A minor and the F major 7, my index finger is on the same note, okay? And then if I go to the G like this, it sort of makes that whole transition easy. So A minor to G to F major 7, to A minor to G to F major 7, okay? So this G position, it's not required, but it's helpful for lots of other songs as well. So if you haven't learned it yet, I recommend adding it to your bag of tricks. And then for the F major 7, if you haven't played this one before, it's nice and easy as an open chord goes. We're going to be on the thinnest 4 strings, so 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, and then open high E string, okay? All right, it's a nice, lots of times you can use this in place of an F for a lot of songs, and it sounds, good enough for sure. Okay, so those are the 3 chords you'll need. So now that we know the chords, let's talk about how you'll use them, how you'll strum them, and sort of the rhythm that the riff is going to be like laid on top of, right? So it looks like this. Basically, we're going to be on A minor for 4 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to G for 4 counts, to F major 7 for 8 counts. Okay? And if we do strumming, that's going to be, let's use this strumming pattern just for simplicity. Down, 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 up, down, up, 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 down, down. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Now if you wanted, you could use that and sing along with the most of the verse. Again, the reason I want to show you that is sort of get that foundational, get those pillars there, because we're going to add the riff on top of that, and we're going to be going in and out of the strumming. Okay, so you really want to have the strumming down if you can. Now that we have that though, let's move into this riff. So as we switch to the riff, we're basically going to move from this tab to this one. Okay, I'll go back again to this one, and then show you this one. So notice that the distribution of the chords, the A minor, the G, the F major 7, they all stay the same. And the counting is staying the same too. But what's happening is we have strumming for some of the notes, but we have these individual picked notes for others, okay? So it looks like this. I'm gonna break this down for you. And again, this is an easy version of the riff to get you sort of to the advanced version, right? One more time. Okay, so first up, I want you to notice that the F major 7 is staying totally the same. We're just going to use that same strumming pattern, right? This is a simplified one. It's the down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, The riff itself happens between this A minor and the G. Okay, so let's look at it. So the riff starts on this A minor, and what we're gonna do is pluck the bass note once, and then pluck the rest of the chord, or strum the rest of the chord, that is, right? And if this is new to you, basically get good or just get familiar with doing this over and over again, right? Isolate this and take it slow. Okay, and next up we're gonna go from this 5th string walk up and end up on the open 4th string. So open 5th string, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and then open 4th string, okay? So I'm doing all down strums with my picks. So take that slow, repeat it if you need to. And then basically you're going to combine that first A minor part with that walk up. And repeat it, all right? Get good at it. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 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 1. Okay? After that, we're going to go to the G. Now, in this simplified version of the riff, what I like to do is, again, you're putting your index finger, or you're putting your ring finger down here on the bass note of the G chord. And basically, we're going to 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Okay, so for the G, it's similar to the A minor, where we're plucking the bass note and then doing a strum on the 1, 2. So the A minor, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2 on the G. And again, I just recommend repeating that, keeping the count going. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeping the count going sort of helps you stay in that time. It's important to get your rhythm right. If you have to slow it down, that's okay. You want to be able to sort of play it with a constant beat. Okay, so that's that first half. You want to get good at that. And then we have this last little riffy part after the G. So we're going to start. So it's 2nd fret on the 5th string, open 5th string, 3rd fret on the 6th string, and then open 5th string again. And notice that the fingers on my left hand that I'm pushing these notes down with match how I would strum a G chord. Okay? Meaning it's my middle finger, in this case, and my ring finger. So that riff, I'm almost telling this hand, like, hey, think G major position, right? And then what I'm gonna do is play 5th string, 2nd fret, open 5th string, 3rd fret on the low E string, and then back up to the 5th string, okay? So you put that first part together, the first 2 measures, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and, all right? 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and, okay? And then we go to the F major 7, which hopefully you have remembered from the strumming part. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So in the tab here, you'll notice how I have the thinnest 2 strings, like in parentheses. The only reason I'm doing that is basically, it sounds like he's kind of favoring the bass notes on some of those. So if you do a 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I just think for this tab visualization, it makes it easier. Instead of seeing a bunch of strums here, you kind of get the idea that you 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and, okay? So here's the whole simplified riff, slow. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 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 1, 2, 3, and 4, and, okay, you get the idea. So get good at this. Again, I'm doing all down strums with those lead notes. And the thing I would try to implore you here is to, when you're playing these lead notes, be forceful, right? You want that to really rock out and sort of ring really solid. But But when you're doing the strumming, you kind of want that to be feathery and light. Okay? You don't want to do heavy, forceful strumming. That's just kind of, it's not the sort of nuance that Neil Young sort of is demonstrating. Okay, so for this sort of advanced version of the riff, so to speak, really only things that are different here are check out this sort of simplified version and then check out this version, right? Simplified and then the advanced or the full version, right? Simplified, full. The full has a bit more going on, like you're filling in a bit more of the rhythm with adding a few additional strums, specifically on the A minor and on the G. Another thing is this F major 7. The strumming is a bit more loose. It's not as rigid as the simplified version I showed you. And I'm showing you the more loose version here. It matches what he plays the first time through on the Rust Never Sleeps version, but it's mainly to show you that you don't have to adhere to a single strumming pattern the whole time. As long as your hand is moving in the same rhythm, you can sort of selectively choose where you put your accent and where you put your sort of, bring the pick to the strings, where you put those notes, okay? Another thing that's different here I want to show you is with these riff notes, instead of doing all down plucks on them, I personally prefer to do a down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And I'll show you what I mean, basically. Do it again. Down, down, up, 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 down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? So the whole time there, I was keeping my picking hand going. Down, up, 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 down, up. And with that being true and a constant thing, you look at this tab and wherever the strumming occurs, if it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4 count, I'm doing a down strum. And if it's any of the and counts in between, I'm doing an up strum. Now you don't need to do this, but for me, I find that if I do that, it keeps it easier to sort of be more free and loose with my strumming the way Neil Young is. So again, down, down, up, 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 down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 2, and 4, and 1. Okay, you get the idea. Okay, so that's a bit of a tricky thing, and it might come to personal preference. But basically, this is the way I would tab out this riff, the way Neil Young plays it, that first time through on the Rust Never Sleeps thing. Have fun with it. And the one bonus thing I'll show you here is, check this out. Notice how in the original version you have this, but in this version, you have this, where basically for that G riff, you have that little change, which is a nice thing to do. That's on my website, playsongnotes.com, if you want to find the tab and pay attention to it. And I'll also say with this advanced version, you can do some hammer-ons, specifically on this note and on this note. Again, this note and on this note of these sort of advanced versions. And that's what Neil seems to be doing a lot of the time, where it's... right? And then I'll do the second one. So the hammer-ons can be tricky, both rhythmically and also with dynamics. Like when I hammer on, I tend to get really loud with them, and that sort of ruins the, it ruins the vibe of this thing. You basically want the lead notes to be forceful, and you want this picking to be strummy and feathery and light, right? And if you combine those successfully, it adds a cool effect where you have this like driving, leadness, and then you have this sort of rhythmic strumming that's giving flavor. But basically, that's what you'll need for the riff of this song. Now, if you want to learn the rest of this song, you can check out my website. I have the chords that are used for the verse sections there. It's not too difficult to learn. And if you want a full lesson, play along, play through that you'd like to see me do of the song, let me know and I'll put that together for you. Otherwise, this has been David Potts with Song Notes. Thank you very much for watching, and I want you to pick up your guitar and play. Have a great day, my friends. Bye-bye.